Starbucks is brewing a big price hike this morning. The coffee chain says customers will pay from 5 to 20 cents more on many drinks starting today.
Over the past few years, economists around the globe have made it abundantly clear that there is a recession around the corner. Now the question remains, how do firms around the world plan to deal with this? How do retailers like Starbucks plan to overcome an incoming recession? Stick around to find out. Starbucks is the world's largest coffee house chain that was actually started in 1971 in Seattle, United States of America. A company that actually started off as a seller of coffee beans, soon pivoted and started selling coffee drinks, or much rather espresso-based drinks. Slowly and steadily, it went on to grow and currently has close to 35,000 stores in more than 80 countries. Over the course of more than 50 years, it is fair to say that Starbucks has faced many different challenges and difficulties. In fact, they also strategically came out of the 2008 financial crisis. But now, the company faces a new challenge, the chance of a new economic crisis rising in 2023. And according to economists, this could be the worst crisis in the history of the world, making the 2008 crisis look like a piece of cake. And the indications for such a crisis are already available, right in front of our eyes. Retail firms like Starbucks have already started to raise the prices of their coffee by almost 30 cents in some cases. The time period since 2020 has been particularly difficult on all economies around the world, which means that people are not spending as much as they used to on items that could be considered luxury products, like Starbucks. And the company decided to respond to this by increasing the prices, which is the opposite of what basic economics would suggest, as now the demand went down, the price of the products should have gone down as well, in an ideal sense. But Starbucks decided to approach things a little differently. They raised the prices of some of their premium drinks, while reducing the prices of a few of their basic models. Starbucks is trying to tread the tricky line of remaining a premium brand, as well as retaining a price-sensitive customer base at the same point of time. Starbucks also has to devise a plan to stay ahead of its competition like Costa Coffee or other giants that could be entering the coffee retail industry. Starbucks released a public announcement that some of their drinks that require more of sugar-based contents like frappuccinos or caramel macchiatos would see an increase of 10 to 15 cents, while some other premium drinks could see a rise of up to 30 cents as well, which would amount to 8% of the total value of the drink. Now, while 8% may not seem like a huge amount, when it comes to an increase in price, 8% would translate into a very significant amount. The goal of it is to really continue to find ways to balance the value we're providing for our customers with the business responsibilities. The company is also trying to redesign its menus in the hope of grabbing customer attention once again. The redesigned menus will try to shift the customer's attention to products whose values have gone down, rather than the ones whose values have gone up. But won't the idea of rising prices with the onset of a recession actually have the opposite effect and drive more customers away? Well, apparently that is not the case. J. Miguel Villas-Boas, a professor of marketing at Haas School of Business of the University of California, Berkeley, suggests otherwise. He said that although the idea of raising the prices during a time of downturn of customers seems like a paradoxical idea, it is not uncommon. In fact, it is a strategy that a lot of premium companies follow as well. The idea is that when the prices goes up, it creates an illusion of the product being more premium and would actually drive up the desire of the customers to want more of the product. But this time around, Starbucks might face another issue as well. All over the United States of America, cases of workers unionizing have popped up, each of them arguing for the rights of the workers. Various sects of workers who work in warehouses, grocery stores, coffee shops, and airlines are unionizing, pushing and fighting for their right to get represented. A lot of the employees were already laid off during the COVID-19 pandemic, and they have struggled to get back on their feet after the pandemic frenzy died out. Now, they face a new scare, the scare of the worst recession that the world would ever see. Wages being cut, being laid off, and unemployment rising are some of the key features of any recession. Adding to this, there would also be a sharp rise in the labor supply and the competition for employment. It is this fear that prompted workers to form unions. Unions help workers secure a better pay, schedules, and also play a major role in increasing job security by signing an employment contract, which companies could refuse to sign or manipulate however they want in the absence of a steady union. Obviously, considering how employers might look at unions to be their mortal enemy, a lot of the companies have begun striking back, going as far as endangering the livelihood of the union members. While a lot of the workers have agreed to be a part of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union, others have stayed away from it, owing to bad experiences previously, as well as the fear of losing their livelihood. But coming back to the case of Starbucks, these are some of the employees of Starbucks who have lost interest or are afraid to unionize once their employers begin to retaliate against them. This is the same case of what happened to Starbucks, where the union protests and demands saw a steep decline once the corporates started retaliating. Starbucks decided to retaliate by offering massive pay hikes to employees who were not part of the union, as well as giving them extra training as baristas. The union protested this move as well, but with no effect. Our focus is on working directly with our partners to reimagine the future of Starbucks. We respect our partners' rights to organize, but believe that working directly together is the best way to elevate the partner experience at Starbucks, a spokesperson said to CNBC. And while the move has worked on some employees, it has actually backfired and motivated others to protest harder. They believe a better pay is their right, especially in an economic climate where the recession is imminent. People are seeing that Starbucks is willing to kind of mess with their livelihood to prevent this union. And that scares people. But at the end of the day, as far as it is driving people not to organize, it's also driving people to organize, a Starbucks employee and union member said to CNBC. We strongly believe that once they get the company to reinstate the employees that they have fired and get them to extend the additional training to workers who are part of the unions as well, there would be a better belief in the union, and that other petitions would see more support from both the employees and the employers. Employees who are also part of the union stated that they are terrified at the prospect of losing their jobs, which is a very real possibility. But things do not seem to be moving in the right directions without unions as well. Most of us make $15 to $18 an hour, and none of us are working 40 hours a week. And that's just not living wage. A lot of us have to get a second job or rely on government assistance to pay our bills. So yeah, we are terrified to be doing this in spite of the economy and the fact that it is just falling apart right in front of us, one of them said. Unionizing and the oncoming recession pose major difficulties not just for Starbucks, but other retail chains as well. And they have chosen a rather unconventional way to deal with this as well, by raising prices of their products at the same time when a demand seems to be going down. How this will turn out for the coffee house chain, only time will tell. Tell us what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such videos. Until next time, bye!